Thank you so much. Peace be with all of us. That is how we are going to start, with peace. Your Excellency, I know we have so many things to discuss because every 7th of February has been declared as the special day of forgiveness in Plateau State. Why? How? When? For what? But he will not answer it now until when I read a small message before he will have him to discuss with us. This man writes, he said, "Good evening, sir. My name is Patrick Ihueze from Abuja. I am actually enjoying your program more, especially the way two religious leaders are cooperating. And I wish all Nigerians will forget about seeing each other as enemies and emulate this kind of love and brotherhood." Another man writes, he said, "Thank you for this national cohesion program. The two religions are from the same source. We must therefore learn to live in peace with ourselves." He said, Professor Ojedokun, Professor of Social Sciences of Bafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. Prof, we are very grateful and we thank you. This program is very educative. It opens up information for all citizens, especially to unify us all, no matter what. Keep it up, sirs. Olupita from Ilorin, Kwara State. This man writes, and I'm going to read the way you write. Say, "Wow, I love this program. Before now, I didn't know there are similarities between Islam and Christianity. My name is Mrs. Lydia Stevens from Lagos." This woman writes, she says, "I love the program. Please keep it up. And God bless you, Mrs. Afolakemi Dia from Ilorin." I think we want to thank Kwara people. They are watching, but I believe Plateau people will now overtake from today, from what you are about listening to. This man writes, "I'm Mr. Sidney from Lagos. Your program is so good and wonderful. God bless the house." This one says, "I love this program because it is educating, particularly the Imam of Apu Mosque. I respect him. This is the kind of Muslim Nigeria need. Imam, I love you all, and the Bishop. In fact, if I had my way, I will sponsor this program for our children yet unborn. Congratulations, sir." He said, "Yunusa Abdullah from Cuba. Anamara, this is an eye-opening program. From Bishop to Imam, Christian and Muslims are one. Olabo Deolayemi from Ede, Osun State." This man writes, he said, "Today is my first time watching this program. It is really teaching me a lot. It shows that if I read calmly, Bible and Quran, they are all alike." Somebody also writes, "From today's program, I have come to realize that Quran is same like Bible. In fact, I am going to get a Quran for myself. God bless you three, and God bless Imam for explaining the Quran well. God bless you, sir." This man writes, "Thank you, Bishop. Thank you, Bishop Peter Ogumuyiwa and Imam for the enlightenment. I am happy to hear this. May God give us peace in our country. I am Abdurrahman from Abeokuta, Ogun State." This man writes, "This program is fantastic. It constantly shows the world that Islam and Christianity is all about peace. Lawal Sadiq from Orile, Lagos." This man writes, "Good evening, my Lord Bishop and the Chief Imam. I am really enjoying the talk. God bless you both and bless the moderator. Solomon from Gwagwalada. I am happy to watch this program and to listen to the two men of God. I will not forget the day some alphas gave me brake fluid from their car because my car brake was bad on the highway close to Ibadan." I don't know if you heard what the man said. Yeah, this one says, "Good evening, sir. Ajala Lanre Ezekiel from Ilorin, Kwara State. This program is indeed reorienting our religious psychological imbalance and showcasing the true picture of the two key religions in Nigeria. Basically, we are promoting one Nigeria that the government has not done. Well, you will know that government is doing it today. So your new topic is Nigeria being religious. I think we have failed in our moral life, and that is why the state is said to be just religious. Thank you, sir." I don't know whether I still continue. This one says, "My name is Paul Bolaniwa. Let me begin by saying religion is a captive, and it is said to be centered around hypocrisy. Christianity is adventure and responsibility, which connotes ability to live what the manual book says, which is the Bible. And I believe same goes with Islam too. So don't let us mix religion with Christianity. This one said, my name is Umar Magaji from Prince and Princess Estate here in Abuja. I pray that some people are beginning. I pray that Allah, in His infinite mercy, will uplift the program to the highest order. This is a program that the whole NTA branches in 36 states should have made emulated and made compulsory, because that is where the target audience are. This one say, hello, my name is Tony Daniel Kure from Kaduna. Your program is really blessed and good. I'm really blessed with the program, and it's making a positive impact in my life. I pray that may the God and Allah always bless you all. These are also right. He said, kudos to Imam and Reverend. This is the type of program that promotes national unity. Please, moderator, continue the good work. God bless you. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. From Onyebuchi, Isolo, Lagos, Nigeria. This one writes, I'm Barrister Abel Iwara from Lagos State. I really want to thank the speaker of, I'm sorry, some people are beginning to call, of such a wonderful program to educate the youth. I enjoyed the program, and I look forward to see more of such. God is your strength. The program is superb. Mere looking at you, one will really learn one thing. One will really have one thing to learn. Ike or your state. Thank you so much. We thank those of you that have been sending messages. You also can send your message to 070-449-44949. That is the number to send the message to. You will see it on your screen. Then you can. Please do not call. Just send either SMS or WhatsApp messages, please. One thing to you to show that you really believe in God is to listen to instruction. Please don't call. We will soon come back where His Excellency will actually tell us why He's here. But don't go away. This is still Abrahamic Mission. You will soon be back.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate but temporary gains of today. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
You are welcome to Abrahamic Mission if you are just joining us. And today we are discussing forgiveness. In Plateau State, on the 7th of February 2018, a program was launched called the Day of Forgiveness in Plateau State by His Excellency, the Right Honorable Simon Bakola Long, the Executive Governor of Plateau State. If you are used to, or you know what Plateau used to be when we are growing up, you will know Plateau State, the only word for you to describe it is a jungle, because the way people were killing themselves. The moment you hear Plateau, you are afraid. You don't want to go. But today, for the past 5 years, it seems as if Plateau is no more in the country, because we are no more hearing their negative narratives. Join me in welcoming His Excellency, Right Honorable Simon Bakola Long, once again to Abrahamic Mission. Your Excellency, you are welcome.
Thank you very much.
And also, my own dear brother, Pastor Wuye, not our own Wuye in Abuja here. You are welcome once again.
Thank you so much for having us.
And my senior brother, I will not expose you because we are here. You are welcome by Imam Noren Ashafa. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum
wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we are discussing forgiveness. Your Excellency, you declare a day as a day of forgiveness. Why?
Well, thank you very much. And first, if you ask why, you will also ask why were there crises in Plateau State. We live in Plateau State. We grew up in Plateau State. We were all born in Plateau State. First, my background is that half of me Muslims, half are Christians.
Okay.
I come from a family where my father, everybody, they are Christians, but his sisters, most of his sisters were Muslims.
Okay.
As it is, my last born, the younger sister, is a Muslim. She stays with me, with her family, with her husband, in the same house. We live in the we live in the same house. It's two. As I was growing up as a young child, I was very, very anxious of knowing about the late Ahmadu Bello, Sir Ahmadu Bello.
Okay.
Why? Because the closest person to Sir Ahmadu Bello was from my place, Michael Audu Buba. We're the same place, the same town, the same everything, the same tribe.
Michael Buba was a Christian?
He was a Christian. Michael Buba was a Christian. And each time they will tell us he's the closest person. They will be seeing pictures of him eating with Sadona, eating the same place, with Sadona waiting for him after church, and he will wait for Sadona after mosque. And we saw that kind of thing. Now, fortunately, I also went to Ahmadu Bello University. I was reading law, but each time I went to the library, if I read law books, I finish. If I get exhausted, what I do is that to look for any book about late Sadona. I read books about Sadona that time. And so that was also sharpening, really sharpening my growth when I came. Now, the crisis came up in Plateau State. The crisis made me as a Speaker of the House. And the worst of it went again to my domain, my primary domain, my constituency, Yelwa Shandam. That's where there was crisis of killing between Muslims and Christians. Completely a town destroyed. But how did we solve that problem? I think that was why we needed this issue of reconciliation and forgiveness. Without reconciliation and forgiveness, Yelwa Shandam would not have been today what it is. But today, if you go to Yelwa Shandam, you will not remember that there was any crisis in that place. I must thank some of the NGOs who came with this idea. Because after the crisis, people will say, no, this side, we don't want you to come back again. You must leave this place. As a member, I said, nobody will leave. All of us were wrong in the first place. What we'll do is to try to reconcile so that we'll come back, we'll regret what we did. And indeed, they did that. So today is an example of a place that if there's any crisis anywhere in Plateau State, the first place that they will start holding meetings between Reverend Fathers, they have a committee, a peace committee. Each time they sit down, they reconcile their differences. You will not hear any headache in that place.
No wonder.
Now, from there, we went to Jos North. Jos North was the boiling point. Everything that we were hearing about is about Jos North. And if the slightest problem, provocation about ethnic crisis will snowball into religious. Because you want to heighten it, the best thing to do is to go and burn a mosque or burn a church. Then the thing will take a religious dimension. And once it will come into that, it was very, very difficult to do it. So as we were reconciling and building, and when we set up the peace building, Agency for Peace Building, we made sure we signed it by law, and we engaged a lot of NGOs, including their own NGOs.
Interfaith Mediation Center.
Interfaith Mediation Center. And we had also an inter-religious council. It was headed by our Archbishop, now the Archbishop of Abuja, Metropolitan Bishop of Abuja, Bishop Ignatius Kaigama. So they were doing very well. But we needed something to give a symbol of that forgiveness. And so when we did that, that was what led us into the formation or the establishment of a special day in Plateau State for forgiveness and reconciliation. And what we did was to go into a garden. There was one garden. There's one garden in Jos, Tafa Belewa. Very beautiful garden, but it turned out to be garden for hoodlums. All crimes were done there. So we said we must go there, resuscitate this, rehabilitate this garden, and then make it the abode for reconciliation and love. And that was where we flagged off that peace and love, peace and forgiveness in Plateau State, now with me. Because the first day we had that occasion, a lot of people were there. And before that, we now brought out youths. We selected youths from different communities, both religions, the Christians and the Muslim youths. We trained them, they all trained them. They took about 2 weeks, trained them in the bush to become...
in the bush?
In the bush. They went to Sierra Hills, some of them to Sierra Hills, our Sierra Hills. Sierra Hills is in the bush. So when they went there, they trained them. They now became ambassadors of love, peace, and forgiveness. So for them to come and exhibit, when they came out of that place, they were different groups of people. So by the time they came back, we now did the reconciliation. Now, for you to do this kind of reconciliation, now who was the first person to ask for forgiveness? In most cases, they will say the people. I said, no, I should be the one. People were asking, what are you going to ask them to forgive you? I said, yes. Constitutionally, I'm given the responsibility to protect lives and property. Now, if people are now crying here and there that they've killed them, they did this, they destroyed my property, first I will tell them that I am responsible.
Okay.
And that was what I did.
Take
So I made my speech and I said, please, Plateau people, forgive me. I'm your governor. If you lost your property, I take responsibility. If you lost your relations, I take responsibility. Today, let us all forgive. Use it. Please forgive me. I am responsible for all the debts. I'm responsible for the destruction of your property because I'm the governor. It shouldn't have happened anyway. But in that case, if we accept all this, then let us open a new chapter. Let us do that in our communities. And in that case, that was why, because of the beauty of the ceremony in that time, we took almost 2 weeks doing different kind of things. From women from those communities that were not living together, to churches that were not seeing each other, to places that there were no go areas. All of them, all the communities came out and said, look, we have reconciled. We have reconciled. We have forgiven each other. And thank God the governor also came in to say we should forgive him. We have forgiven him. And so we went to that garden and established that garden at the Garden of Forgiveness in Plateau State. Not only that, we declared that it must be a public holiday. Wow. So for every year, we will come there to celebrate forgiveness. And if there are issues, even when we leave, people go to that garden today. If you have issues, you go there, call your friend, we go there and meet. By the time you meet in that garden and you leave, you would have reconciled your differences. So symbolically, it's now the Garden of Forgiveness in Plateau State. And I'm very happy that the last one that we did last year, we hosted the Sultan. The Sultan was there. Yes, the Sultan, His Eminence, the Sultan was there. Very prominent religious leaders were there. All of them were there. They all exhibited. And if you see their background, they will tell you, we are also warlords. But we realized that it was not working. I know them. So today, we are peacemakers. So we did that, and with the visit of the Sultan that time, it was very, very colorful. And we were also hoping that we'll make it even more colorful this year. But COVID-19 disrupted many of the programs that we wanted to do.
But God in His infinite mercy has done it for you.
Thank you.
You are on NTA network. Yeah. And incidentally, Radio Nigeria, FRCN, is also carrying it as we are listening. So others can also join us through the Radio Nigeria network live as we are on now and with subsequent one. But before I ask the next question, somebody has written to you. Yes. He said, please, Mr. Governor, keep it up. Keep it up. The God of heaven will reward you. And I believe that you know the full meaning of just. Always remember, a leader is a servant.
Amen.
So we thank you. His Excellency said you train these people in the bush. Briefly, how? What does it take?
Well, graciously, His Excellency provided youth from all nook and crannies of Plateau State, selected youth leaders. They came to a camp outskirts of town. That's a bush. In short, that place is very good for training. It humbles you when you get there. And so we're able to look at our scriptures. We walked from our scriptures to the reality on ground. And they were also really repentant. People living with disability, young girls, young boys came together, segregated around their sexes in their places because we slept there. We slept in the bush.
In the bush?
Yes.
You are not afraid of snake?
No, well, that place is a camp, well-fortified camp, outskirts. So,
I see you are using English.
It's actually a good place. One day we'll ask you to come to also Imam Fuad to see that kind of place. And your youth from your mosque can also come. What we really did was that, apart from doing this, His Excellency also led us to the southern part where some young people who were fighting reconciled and they were returning arms. It was awesome that at that level, he could do the things he did. And for us, it's just a blessing that we were opportune to give them this capacity that led to this great celebration.
Okay. Imam, I will call you too. You add more, but let me quickly read this message. Please, that's the way I want to do it today. This woman writes, she said, I will always spend my day resting to watch this program. You choose the right people. His Excellency, the Governor of Plateau State, and Chairman, Northern Governor Soro, deserves golden medal as a symbol of peace. Khadija Ardido. Thank you, Khadija Ardido. I hope you listen.
Thank you, Khadija.
Imam.
I think one of the important things is that not only a youth or women group, the traditional institution leadership were brought together.
Yes.
And these traditional leaders who are custodian of various ethnic nationalities on the plateau, almost all of them were there at different training programs and processes we go through. And one thing that struck me I will never forget is when one of the elders come forward, one of the tribal elders come forward, more closer and put on his shoulder, put hand on his shoulder and wept, hugging themselves and crying that indeed, I'm sorry for what has happened to your people. You can see people across board crying, shedding tears of joy. That it's like taking a burden off the people. And I feel one of the most, that is one key important stories or success story that in my experience in the last 27 years, working across different communities and different nations of the world, the impact, the issue of apology, of forgiveness, it was first done by Australian government with their team on the other side of the about apology. But the impact of Australia is not as strong as the impact in Nigeria, the first on the African continent, in terms of my own practical experience, for the governor to say, I am sorry. I take responsibility for what happened. Let's chart a new history. And I feel charting a new history, a new course, has a lot of, you can feel it in the plateau, that people are looking forward to a new plateau. And you can feel the impact on the ground. And I think that is one of the success stories that we will see when we talk of forgiveness. What it gives back to you is taking the burden off your shoulder and giving you freedom. Because any unforgiveness is slavery. It's slavery, and that is the burden the whole nation we are going through. We find it difficult to forgive those who hurt us. We live in unhealed memory of historical past that is negative to us. The day we mentor, we take the seeds that plateau people have taken. The day we took that, we will be on the course of healing in this nation.
I think we also need to discuss more so that we can be on the course of healing. If we all forgive ourselves, I believe our country, we will catapult into greatness. That's I've seen from this. But before I come back to you, Excellency, this man writes, he says, Assalamu alaikum, I'm Comrade Musa Demasco from Gindiri. He said, thank God for those that initiate this program. Lalong, that's the way he writes it. Lalong is the governor of peace. He deserves a peace award. Thank you. Your Excellency, you've declared this day as, you didn't mention the date. You just say you declared this day, probably where you would declare it. Since you declared it in 2018, what has your experience been? Or what I can describe as what are the success, or what are your experience? How do you feel, or what have you seen because you have declared this day as a day of forgiveness?
Well, a lot of changes. When we declared that day of peace, we saw a lot of changes, like Imam said. In that field, in that garden, there were a lot of people crying. In fact, even myself, when I was reading my speech, it was very, if you see the video, it was terrible. It took me time to hold myself.
Yourself.
Because I almost broke down.
My God.
And then I said, what is wrong? And the experience is that there's nothing wrong with the leader coming to say, I'm sorry. Because we're all humans. We're all humans. And the moment I said sorry, I saw cold running through everybody. Even those who came, they didn't want to greet the governor. The governor was responsible. If he was there, things would not have happened. When I said, I'm sorry, I saw them smiling. I saw all of them smiling, and that gave me a lot of comfort. Now, part of it is what you see now in Plateau State. First, before I came in, there were no-go areas. There were areas that a Christian will not move there. There were areas that the Muslim will dare not pass.
I think we have something like that too in Kaduna. We
Yes,
have places where Muslim cannot go, Christian cannot go.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You remember that experience I had?
Yes.
Let me allow His Excellency
At
to
the
continue.
point, even passage, people who are moving to Bauchi, moving to Adamawa, it was difficult to pass through Plateau because everybody was afraid. But with this kind of thing, the same youth went back, and we saw a different kind of youth. Yes. We saw different youth moving together. Even before, if we were worshiping in a church, you will see from far a lot of blockages here and there. But today in Jos, you don't see that. Yeah. On Fridays when they are doing more, you will see a lot of blockages here and there, roadblocks, because people, the youth, the Christian youth were coming out to guide people on Fridays. And the Muslim youth were also coming out to protect people when they were doing their church service. Today, the term Jos North, which was a boiling point. Because every time there was any issue, they would say, Jos North is boiling, Jos North is boiling. Today, things that were impossible are possible. The chairman of Jos North is a Muslim.
A place where a Muslim
yes,
cannot
he's a
be
Muslim.
Chairman before?
Yes, they have never. And each time you are going to attempt to do chairmanship election, that is when crisis will come. I said, what is wrong? I made a Christian, a caretaker chairman. It was 1 year. There was no problem. I also brought in a Muslim caretaker chairman. He is there today. No headache. Nobody has been killed. Nobody fought respect to that. And I'm very happy the way the young man is doing.
Okay.
I understand. That's what they come to tell me. Every Sunday, he must attend 1 or 2 church services before he goes home. Every Sunday. He's a Muslim. So that is a Muslim. A Muslim. The chairman.
Is he now a Christian? Have they converted him to Christianity?
No. He goes there to tell you. Yes, to tell you the need.
Local government.
That was all after the forgiveness. After the forgiveness.
Okay.
Because there were huge turnout of people from Jos North. That's the boiling point. Both Muslim and Christians who went for this training came back and told their communities. All of them came out that day. And they said, well, we are not ready to fight again. We have reconciled with ourselves. So anybody that is coming to make trouble, we'll all put ourselves and deal with that that troublemaker. And because of that, we had the advantage of setting up the peace building. Because if you have issues like this, you must also be able to sustain it with an institution. Not only a temporary outfit that you just disband after when there is peace. We now make sure that we brought in the peace building agency, and the only one in the country that is established by law and flagged off by Mr. President himself. You know, Mr. President.
That is the Plateau Peace Agency.
Yes. It was flagged off by Mr. President in his visit to Plateau State in 2018.
You said that one is backed by law?
It's backed by law, established by law. And so when they showed the president the video and the short video of what we did, Mr. President recommended it to all the state governors. He said, come and copy what I saw in Plateau. He flagged off the peace building. Now with this building, the peace building now took over in consolidating the peace, in preaching the peace, in attracting even donor agencies outside to help them. Today, by the grace of God, our peace agency attracted the intervention from America. It attracted intervention from France. It attracted intervention from Germany. Because in our state, we are the only ones that have not only peace agency, because early warning signal.
Oh.
Yes, established by America and established by France.
Early warning signal.
Early warning signal.
And that's what Issue of Peace and Conflict Resolution is supposed to actually be doing and supposed to be seen to be doing.
Exactly. That's what we have in the state. So for any attempt of any trouble, even on my phone, the governor, I always know there is a problem here. And before I get there, the peace building would have gone there. They would go to reconcile the people. And not only reconciling people, because the youths that are trained are already there. Exactly. And incidentally, when this issue of community policing, all of them, I would say almost all of them were moved into community policing. So you can see how effective and how, when I said I prefer community policing, our community policing is made up of a lot of youths from different religions, and all of them nominated by traditional rulers. As he said, as we are moving the youth, we also engage the traditional rulers. They were also trained. and then with the peace building, with the interreligious organization, ably led by then the Archbishop Kaigama. Unfortunately, Archbishop Kaigama left us.
He's doing it the same thing in Abuja.
Yes,
I can
I think
testify
so.
to that.
You remember when I attended, I said, look, I am not happy that he's leaving, but I know that he's leaving for good. Yes. So when he left, it was difficult to reconstruct the committee, but I've done it now. By Monday, as part of celebration for our Forgiveness Day, I am going to inaugurate a new interreligious council. And then with also a new outfit and a new training, so that they can carry out the role of reconciliation and forgiveness in Plateau State.
Quick one, Interreligious Council,
yes,
and Plateau Peace Building Agency,
yes.
Is it the same agency or different?
No, they work together. The peace building is established by law.
Okay.
Now, to call the interreligious agency is an organization. It's a mixture of different groups, representation from all segments. Now, when they meet together, sometimes they also provide advice. They play an advisory role to the peace building. But whatever they do, the peace building is always there in all their meetings. Because when they come to do meetings, the peace building will carry out the implementation of those decisions they take.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Well, I think we are getting there. Probably Plateau will become a model of what a peaceful state should be. I know you also contributed in that area. But I want to know your contribution, but until after this short break.
Let us live as one. It doesn't matter where you come from, your tribe or religion, man, woman or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Put Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
How can we develop when we're always in crisis? Families have become refugees in their country. No matter our differences, show some understanding.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. Let's live together.
Joining us, this is Abrahamic Vision, and the topic we are discussing today is forgiveness, the Plateau example. We've received so many messages, but you too can also be part of this by sending your messages to 070-449-44949, and you can also listen to this program simultaneously on Radio Nigeria Network Service. We are hosting His Excellency the Governor of Plateau State. Let me quickly go to somebody wrote to you. He said, it's amazing how God works. If all the governors adopt what His Excellency does, every state will be at peace. Emmanuel Denson, Akwa Ibom State. Your Excellency, okay, you tell us what your experiences are. Let me start with Imam. How did you get here? To the level that everybody is accepting themselves, everybody is crying of joy. And I think His Excellency mentioned that there is a time when some people are trying to create problem among them, they are also reporting themselves that this is what they are doing. How did we get there briefly? Because they said we don't have time again.
I think one of the most important things is that the key important element is always the political will. If you have professional on the ground, we as professional mediators, professional peace builders, facilitators and mentors, we have a practical experience of working and a long years of working certified by United Nations, acknowledged by many other teams across international agencies across the world. So when you have these tools on the ground and you have a political will, a listening governor, a listening head of state who have a vision, who believe that I need somebody to help me move the process forward, to break away from the cycle of violence. I think that was the success story we have. So some of those models we have as a tool that we brought it into practice, and the governor gave his support. And most of his team, His Excellency's team, they are good team who believe in his leadership. And they give us the necessary support we needed and the wherewithal. And that was why having 2,000 people, you give tools. And those 2,000 go to do a step down within their communities and come up. You can feel the impact in the 17 local governments. 17? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
17 local governments. These people were shared across the local government. And in each, not only across, but even including ward level, in every ward, there is an ambassador of forgiveness. Ambassador of peace and forgiveness.
Please, let me allow you to... Bishop, Pastor, what do you want to add briefly?
Well, I just want to say the space was given, the support was given, the political will was there. And I repeated this when I went to one of the southern states. I said, if only we can learn to forgive. Being a child of a soldier who fought in the Civil War, it was all pastors, and you could feel a pin drop. So there is power when you personally confess your weakness and ask for forgiveness. His Excellency wasn't weak. There is strength in forgiveness. The one who forgives is stronger than the one who punches. And that's what we shared there. And the youth has taken it, and they are running with it. And that's why today we got a call from Plateau State. Some of these youth that have been trained, I said, we want to do something. There is an early warning, which His Excellency said, and the young people are responding. For me, getting the people to act, even at the site, along the governor, is a great, huge success that will continue to live and even outlive what His Excellency is doing. And to put that structure back for the interreligious group, I feel it's a strong thing that people should emulate all over the country. And once this is done, I don't even know. I wish that His Excellency will begin to go to states all around the country, not even the north only, to begin to share north-south forgiveness.
No, I think this is highly, highly necessary. Because if you look at almost all the problems we are facing in this country, it is because you remember the evil that was done to you or done to your parents that you want to take revenge. That is what is escalating all this. Each time you remember the pain that you suffer from a particular group of people, you tend to want to revenge. And at the end of the day, there is a continuation of crisis.
Absolutely.
Your Excellency, one thing I've noticed now is that the cheapest thing is peace.
Absolutely.
And when you learn how to maintain and sustain peace in your area, yours might be better than the other. Because when there is crisis, the money you spend in curtailing it, you might not be able to do anything well with it.
Exactly.
Your Excellency, your experience more on this, because you mentioned something earlier on, how some people, they now came and brought some things which they stole.
Yes.
During the NSAS, because it really interests me. I want to actually listen to that more.
Yes. And I think connected to that was the fact that after we established the early warning signals, we also created surveillance centers, especially in Jos North. There are surveillance centers, and the surveillance centers is for communities. So those communities sit down to reconcile, just like we do, on monthly or on quarterly basis, all the problems of their communities. And the effect of this forgiveness was exhibited after the NSAS in Jos. Because the NSAS in Jos was particularly about people going to loot palliatives meant for all people, meant for disabled. So after that, I kept quiet. When they finished looting all those things, within that community, you find out that there were also many youths that were trained. There were many elders, many traditional rulers that were trained on the issue of forgiveness. In fact, I just watched. Then after 1 month, I saw people coming to government house. Over 2,000 people came back and were surrendering what they looted.
Back to government?
Back to government. They came to government house. They said they are coming to government house for the governor to forgive them. I said, for what? They said, we were the ones who looted those things, those palliatives. My secretary to the government received them because I wasn't around. I said, my secretary to the government should go and receive them and forgive them. I said, you are forgiven because God has forgiven you. But don't do it again. That's the spirit of forgiveness. Because when they did that, they realized that many of them were dying. They were eating and dying. They said, we're eating and we're dying. We wonder. I said, maybe because you took something that was not your own. So when they came back, that was only done, I think it was only done in Plateau. I didn't see any state. Over 2,000 voluntarily came after a prayer session. And with the reverend, led by a reverend, they brought back, they said, look, we're surrendering this. Although we ate many part of it, but these ones were surrendering. That was also evidence that this peace and forgiveness, this reconciliation and forgiveness is working in Plateau, in Plateau State. You may hear of some things here and there, pockets of crisis. It doesn't take long, because once it happens in a community, that spirit, the first thing I always tell them is that I call the community. I say, don't forget, you promised, you took a vow to forgive each other. I did it. So what are you coming again? So nobody will come and say, I'm going to television, the governor is guilty. I said, yes, I have accepted my guilt. I'm the governor. I am sworn in to protect you. So if you die, I am the one that is supposed to protect you.
Your Excellency, there is one thing that is really giving me a lot of joy with this. You know, my experience over the years in discussing with people, you can know those who are fabricating stories.
Yes.
You can know those who are talking because they want people to know that they know. You can see people who are talking passionately based on their experience. I think I will congratulate you.
Thank you very much.
Let me read a message somebody writes. He said, the most enduring legacy of His Excellency is a stable, united, and peaceful Plateau State. He is sometimes misunderstood and even misconstrued, but he will certainly be remembered as a peacemaker. God bless you, sir. Joe Leng. I don't know whether I'm correct with it.
Okay.
That is the way the person wrote it.
Yes.
Now, with your experience, although I will come back to you,
Yes.
how do we now get this kind of peace in our country? Not only in Plateau.
Yes.
What do you think we can now do as a nation, based on your experience as a governor, who have as chairman of Governors Forum? How do you integrate it? You do something like peer review to see what is happening in Plateau. Can we have it in Adamawa?
Yes.
Can we have it in Sokoto?
Yes.
Can we have it in Zamfara?
Yes.
What are you doing based on your position as the chairman of Northern State Governors Forum?
Thank you very much. I think after we established our peace building, when the president, it was live. The president said, look, people should come and copy what Plateau has done. People should copy the law that was established by Plateau State. About 7 states came, I remember. About 7 states came. Kaduna was the first to come. They went and established one. Adamawa came. Taraba came. A lot of them were all coming. And we say we should come and learn so that we live together in the north. Whatever will be the problem, we'll always live together. Now, part of it was also, I went round. Anytime I enter a church, they know me. I don't tell lies. What I hate is some of the religious leaders preaching hatred in churches. I always encounter them in churches. I tell them the truth in that church. I go to church and somebody is saying, look at they kill these people, you must go back and take revenge. I said, no, it's wrong. It's not in the Bible. It's not in the Bible.
That's right.
The Bible says we must preach love. We will not preach hatred. We will not preach revenge. Revenge is for God.
Yes.
So when we preach love, we see peace. So why are you preaching? And I even make sure that most of them that were preaching, I warned them. I say, you dare not come to the street and start talking about this. We are already talking about peace in the state, talking about love. We are talking about forgiveness. Why are you talking about hatred? The same thing. I just wrote something 2 or 3 times when I was chairman of Northern Governors Forum. You recall that the last time when they were doing, I think before ESAS, there was this thing about a lot of pictures going. They said they were killing people in the south. People should kill. They started in the Jos. They say all the Igbos should leave Jos.
Yes.
Because they were killing people. I said, not in Jos. I declared curfew. I said, let anybody come out and say somebody will leave. Nobody will leave Plateau. And that day, everybody was protected. No one ran down to me. I said, why are you asking people to leave? They said they are killing people. I said, give me evidence of that killing. There was no killing. And we had to take, a few of us went, myself, the governor of Sokoto, Tambuwal, the governor of Kebbi, the governor of Jigawa, and about 5 governors from the north. We went to the south. We went to the southeast. And we asked them, where are those people that were killed in that place? We met the northern community. There were no people that were killed. I said, you see the social media. Now they would have been killing innocent people here. That would have been war. And after that answers came, I had to take a lot of pressure to restrain the northern youths. Of course, they were they also wanted to take a revenge because for what was happening. We educated them. We had a very wonderful meeting. And at the end of the day, they were the ones that were even going around the northern Nigeria, telling them, no, let's be calm. Again, recently, this is what we are saying. I issued a press statement 2 days ago. Some people were saying, no, you see, your own is always different. When they are asking that they should start killing Fulani people or killing this one, you will come out and say, no. I said, no, we are Nigerians. We are Nigerians. What is the killing? By the time you start killing, it will be innocent people. If we said Northerners should start killing Yorubas, it will be innocent people. People who are doing their legitimate business. Why don't we go for the criminals? Why don't we go for them? It's now the responsibility of the state to start fishing out. Now, when we have such things, what we should do is to start blaming the state. We say, yes, we are the state. We are the people. We must go and start looking for the criminals. But not to come and say, because one person, one tribe is found guilty, you say they should eliminate all the tribes in your place. It is wrong. I still stand by it. It is very, very wrong. And I did that on behalf of Northern, and that is what we are doing. And each time it happens, we move people. Today, yesterday, Northern governors were there again in the southeast to tell them, let's see, why are you saying that they should start killing people? Why are your people? And Digbo came out and said, no, we didn't say anybody should leave this place. So this is the kind of thing, when you mix politics with this kind of thing, you will get to a point where some people think that there should be no Nigeria. But for me, I believe there should be Nigeria.
Definitely.
If there should be Nigeria, some people should sacrifice for it. This is the time for us to sacrifice for it. And I think that if we really love Nigeria, it's not about President Buhari. Buhari will come and go. President Buhari will come and go. It's not about Governor Lalong. I've told them in Plateau State, what I am doing tomorrow, I will leave. But I don't want to leave and say, like my former governor did. Sorry, I say it. Because when he was handing over to me, he said, I'm going to hand over crisis to you, unfortunately, because I inherited crisis. I said, no, this is not this is a bad thing to talk about inheritance. For you to tell your child that you are handing over crisis. But by God's grace, I told him, I will not hand over crisis in Plateau State.
Oh, my God.
And within a short time, peace came to Plateau. Peace came to... This is the kind of attitude. So where we go wrong as leaders, we must come out and say, we are wrong. We admit it and say we are wrong. Nothing but it's glorified. I will say it's dignified for a leader to come out, because I saw the advantages of me. The day I said, forgive me in Plateau State, and the comments that were coming, I slept for 1 week. I slept.
For 1 week?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I can see my brothers, they are burning. They want to talk. They want to talk. I'm afraid. Your Excellency, if the Nigerians say come back next week, will you come back, sir? I will come back every time. It's about peace. Thank you so much.
And thank God, Mr. President will always say, Plateau Governor is peace, is Mr. Peace.
No.
And I thank him for that, because each time I go to him, I'm talking about, he said, how is the peace of Plateau? I said, we are managing it.
The peace of Plateau.
Yes.
Oh, somebody now advise you, sir.
Yes.
Now listen to his advice. He said, good evening, sir. Your Excellency, please, sir, I would love you can publish a book of the strategy adopted by your government so that we can make use of it to educate out our younger ones. Bakari, Adamawa State.
Okay. Somebody's writing a book already. I don't want to start.
You don't want to preempt?
Somebody said you must keep that secret.
Okay.
I must keep that secret.
Okay.
So already somebody's writing a book. I didn't want things people writing, but he said I must write a book
about not about you per se, but about the strategy you adopted in getting to this level.
Yes. Well, yes, we are going to do that, and then part of it too. One of the legacy that I would like to leave is the peace building. Is that peace building? Absolutely. Because with peace building, with the interreligious council, I think that should be something that people should copy in most of the states. Because once you have a good peace building and coordinated peace building, well funded, with interreligious council, what else do I want? Most of the problems that we have in the state are first of all discussed by the Interreligious Council. And then the peace building will be there to implement.
I feel this is the key. Most of our government investing in peace.
Yes, investing
in peace
yes.
is one of the missing link. If all our government will start investing in peace, from the security, whatever called the vote they call it, use this money to invest in the peace process, to take proactive measure. It will go a long way than prescriptive measure, where it is more of retributive justice instead of restorative justice. And these are the areas we feel, not only our government, our political parties. If you look at, for example, the American political dispensations, each political party has an institute, National Democratic Institute, International Republican Institute, and not only that alone, which have a focus about building bridges based on their mission and vision of their political party. But one important thing that is missing, for example, how many of us as an organization have this peace-building agency as a government, at the state level, at the local government level, and to be able to get people to walk into that particular platform. Because one success story is the early warning, early response system. It says, on my phone, if something is happening in Plateau, I will know what is happening. I will have a glimpse of what is happening. Then I will send people to move into action. So ability to move into action is the key. And I'm saying that is the success. So that is one of the hidden secrets that make Plateau peaceable today. I'm moving toward the path of development.
You want to say something? Because we don't have much time again.
Well, if you say I should say something,
you must say something.
Is to say the power in our spirituality,
okay,
which the Right Honorable Lalong has superimposed his strategy, because forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. He is a person of faith. And for me, bringing faith into action, bringing faith into governance, bringing sincere faith, that is to say, and justice, not leaning to one side or the other, is the secret behind this. And we saw
sincerity of purpose.
Sincerity of purpose, transparency in what you do makes you the hero that you should be. And we are seeing one today. And for us to say that retraining and continuing training of the system and injecting more energy and sincerity into the system brings the genuinity of the outcome. And that's what we are seeing on Plateau today. Okay,
thank you. Your Excellency, there's another question I want to ask, although you will be brief on it. Yes. But before that, let me quickly read this message. It said, "Good day, sir. Congrats on a laudable program like this. I've learned from Governor this evening. Please, my appeal to the Plateau Governor is to help teach other high-ranking men in government how to be humble like he did. May God bless you. Williams Epo from Lagos State." I think you started saying it is from this world, whatever you do, that begin to repeat. Your Excellency, there is a new normal now. There's a challenge about COVID-19.
Yes.
Briefly, what have you done? Because we have to internalize this if we are not going to be deceiving ourselves.
Yes.
As a governor, briefly, what have you done about this and to ensure peace through this COVID-19?
Yes, I think, in COVID-19, we are also using that structure. We are using the same structure we use in maintaining peace in preaching COVID-19. You remember that when COVID-19, I was always at the forefront. In fact, one professor called me and said, "Did you read medicine?" I said, "No." He said, "You know about this thing and your passion for the protocols and everything." I said, "Yes." I said, "Because when something is like war, is this peace that we're talking about? I'm seeing another war coming. This COVID-19
is a war.
So we adopt this same method. So what we have done is we're doing the implementation of enforcement, and part of the enforcement is also what I'm going to tell the Interreligious Council on Monday, when I inaugurate them, to also use that process to preach, to also make sure that to sensitize people.
Your Excellency,
about
I'm
COVID-19.
sorry. Somebody, I will stop you here with this message. He said, please, sir, for God's sake, let His Excellency come back next week. Please, I'm Alhaji Ahmed Idris. Please, because of God, let him come back. I think I will answer. That will be the end.
I will come
end
back.
this program with this request
I will
from
come
this
back.
Alhaji Ahmed Idris.
Yes.
He mentioned God about 5 times. Say, for
Yes.
God, we should allow His Excellency to come back next week. I don't know, Your Excellency. Promise Nigerians what will happen next week.
The issue of peace is the best sacrifice any leader can do.
Wow.
Okay. So whatever will take me, I will come back again. Even if you want me to come back 3 times, more than 3 times, I will come back again.
Your Excellency, we are very grateful.
And I think one important thing, if I will add, is that, do you know that the Plateau have discovered a vaccine?
They are working on it.
Working on a vaccine that is made in Nigeria vaccine for coronavirus. To fight coronavirus, made in Nigeria. I think next week...
Your Excellency, you will explain this next week.
Yeah, no problem.
Next week, you will explain this. I'm very, very grateful. On behalf of Nigerians.
Thank you very much.
On behalf of all peace-loving people in the world
I'm honored.
who are watching you, we want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you. You might not know His Excellency came from Jos because of this program. And also co-executive directors, we thank you. We do not have much time. Until when we meet next week, from all of us, say bye-bye.
Thank you.
Wash your hands for 20 seconds, just like Elmo.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Welcome. It's Nigerian Presence on NTA, and I am Umar Mohammed. Now, the previous year has been quite challenging, especially for the entertainment industry. But nevertheless, the visual art sector was still able to adhere to all the rules and regulations while to cope with change. So, we made a compilation of 10 great outings by various artists of all gender. Please, let's take a look.
Coming on number 10 was the episode of the Aviva Charity Foundation exhibition organized by Mrs. Kokab Farouk, which art has been a driving force towards the achievement of the foundation's dream. Aviva Charity Foundation is an organization whose mission is to maximize the impact of arts on economic development, education, and quality of life for everyone by generating resources, inspiring excellence, and creating community connection through arts. Mrs. Kokab Farouk, one of the co-founders of the organization, was born on the 20th of September She is a graduate in Bachelor's of Fine Arts from the University of Punjab, Lahore, Pakistan. She is the mother of 3 brilliant children